Movie Interceptor, 2022. 1. Captain J.J. Collins arrives at the remote Pacific Missile Defense Platform like a storm carried by the wind. Once a rising star in the U.S. Army, she was forced out after exposing corruption within the Pentagon, making powerful enemies who buried her career. Now she is assigned to the Interceptor base, a lonely steel fortress floating above the ocean, designed to protect the world from nuclear attacks launched from space. The crew is skeptical of her, seeing her as a political problem instead of a soldier, but JJ keeps her focus sharp. She studies the defense systems, memorizing every detail, every emergency protocol, knowing this place could become humanity's last shield. As night falls, storm clouds gather, and the vast sea below seems restless. Deep beneath the waves, an unseen enemy moves into position. Inside the command center, radar screens flicker and technicians joke to hide their boredom. None of them know that in a matter of hours, their lives and the fate of the entire planet will depend on J.J. Collins' strength, intelligence, and refusal to surrender. 2. The comm breaks suddenly when alarms scream through the control room. 16 nuclear missiles are detected launching from a hidden location in Russia, flying on a trajectory toward major cities across the United States and Europe. Panic spreads as operators scramble to confirm the data. There is no mistake, this is a real, coordinated attack. The interceptor system is activated, but before it can fully deploy, the base is violently shaken by explosions. Armed mercenaries storm the platform, killing guards and taking over key sections. Their leader, Alexander Kessel, reveals himself through hacked communication channels. Once a decorated military intelligence officer, Kessel was betrayed and imprisoned, losing everything he believed in. Now he wants revenge against the governments he feels destroyed him. His plan is simple: disable the interceptor system and let the missiles destroy the world. As chaos spreads through the corridors, JJ realizes that this is not just a battle for the base, it is a battle for every human life on Earth. 3. JJ barely escapes the initial attack, diving through smoke and debris as bullets tear through the command room. One by one, her fellow soldiers are captured or killed, leaving her isolated inside the massive structure. With communications cut and doors sealed, the terrorists believe they have full control. But they underestimate JJ. Using her training and her sharp tactical mind, she navigates the maze of hallways, avoiding patrols and sabotaging their operations. Every step is dangerous, every breath heavy with fear and determination. Kessel watches her movements through surveillance cameras, impressed by her resilience. He contacts her, offering her a chance to join him, claiming that the world is corrupt beyond saving. JJ rejects him without hesitation, telling him that no amount of betrayal justifies mass murder. Their verbal duel becomes as intense as the physical battle unfolding around them. Outside, the missiles continue their deadly journey through space, closing the distance with terrifying speed. 4. As the countdown to impact ticks lower, JJ fights her way toward the control center. She uses stealth and brute force, disarming enemies, setting traps, and turning their own weapons against them. Each confrontation leaves her more injured, but also more determined. In the missile bay, she manually repairs damaged launch systems, knowing that even one working interceptor could save millions of lives. The terrorists try to stop her, but she pushes through pain and exhaustion. Blood runs down her face, but her eyes remain locked on the mission. She launches the first interceptor missile, watching on a small monitor as it streaks into the sky and destroys an incoming warhead. The explosion is beautiful and terrifying, a reminder of what is at stake. There is no time to celebrate. 15 more missiles remain, and the enemy is closing in. JJ prepares herself for the next wave of combat. 5. Kessel grows increasingly frustrated as JJ continues to sabotage his plan. He contacts her again, this time revealing his personal story. Once loyal to his country, he was abandoned when he became inconvenient, labeled a traitor and thrown away. He believes that the destruction of the world will prove how cruel and unjust the system truly is. JJ listens, but does not agree. She tells him that pain does not give anyone the right to destroy innocent lives. Their conversation is interrupted when terrorists locate her position. A brutal firefight erupts in a narrow corridor, bullets ricocheting off metal walls. JJ uses every ounce of her training to survive, pushing forward even when hope seems thin. With every enemy she defeats, she gains a few more seconds for the interceptors to work. Time is her greatest enemy and also her only ally. 6. The base is now in ruins, filled with smoke, fire, and broken machinery. JJ reaches the secondary control room and begins launching interceptors one after another. Each successful strike is a small victory against the coming apocalypse. The sky above is filled with flashes of light as nuclear warheads are destroyed in space. However, the system begins to fail under the strain, and JJ must manually adjust the targeting systems. Kessel's men close in, desperate to stop her. In a final desperate stand, JJ fights them off, her body aching but her spirit unbroken. With trembling hands, she enters the last coordinates and launches another interceptor. The missile hits its target just seconds before impact. Only a few warheads remain now, and the margin for error is almost gone. Kessel decides to take matters into his own hands. He moves to the main control hub, intending to override the final defenses himself. JJ chases him through collapsing corridors, both of them driven by powerful but opposing beliefs. Their confrontation is emotional as well as physical. Kessel accuses JJ of being blind to the world's corruption, while she accuses him of becoming the very monster he hates. They fight fiercely, using fists and weapons in a desperate struggle. The fate of the world hangs in the balance as alarms scream and screens flash warnings. JJ finally gains the upper hand, knocking Kessel away from the control panel. But he is not finished yet, and neither is the battle. 8. Wounded but still dangerous, Kessel makes one last attempt to destroy the interceptor system. JJ tackles him, and the two struggle on the floor of the control room. In a moment of painful truth, Kessel realizes that his revenge has cost him everything he once was. JJ tells him that it is never too late to stop, but he refuses. The fight ends when JJ disables him, saving the system. With only seconds left, she returns to the controls and launches the final interceptors. One by one, the last incoming missiles are destroyed. The sky outside glows with fading fireballs as humanity is spared from extinction. Silence falls over the ruined base. JJ collapses into a chair, exhausted and injured, watching the monitors confirm that every missile has been neutralized. Rescue forces are on the way, but for now, she is alone with the weight of what just happened. Millions of lives were saved because she refused to give up. She reflects on her past, on the injustice that brought her here, and realizes that her purpose was always to protect others, no matter the cost. The world may be broken, but it is still worth saving. 10. As dawn breaks over the Pacific, helicopters arrive to retrieve JJ and secure the base. The storm has passed and the ocean is calm again. JJ steps outside, feeling the fresh air on her face, knowing she has faced the worst and survived. Though her body is bruised and her future uncertain, she stands proud. She did not fight for medals or recognition, but for the simple belief that humanity deserves another chance. The Interceptor base, damaged but standing, remains as a silent guardian of the planet, and JJ Collins walks away as a true hero who stood alone between the world and total destruction.